This is going to be a whole perfect with the whole winter arc trend thing that's going on, right? You can't skip leg day. Leg day is the foundation, all right? This is what I'm getting. It seems to be especially true in this day and age where, you know, oh my God, I'm scrolling on my phone and these people are waking up at like 4 a.m. working out and doing this whole thing. It's like, yeah, but they're going to skip leg day. And here's the deal. Here's where I'm getting at. You can't do leg day on your own. In fact, that seems to be your weakness. Is that you can work on the top as much as you want. As much as you want. And that's where people seem to be just on a wild goose chase of self-improving, right? Going in these winter arcs to become like Batman or whatever. But all they're able to do is become top-heavy individuals. Because to self-improve is the inflation of something that doesn't have a foundation. Yeah, I just came up with that. Isn't that pretty good? Wow. Holy Spirit, look at you. It seems to be, the whole self-improvement motivation seems to be that of inflation without a foundation. And it seems to be the weakness of men and what we're trying to get away from. We want to go around the mountain of weakness or whatever, is that we cannot instill that foundation in ourselves. Because you can even take it to the Christian TikTok world and be like, you're right. That's why we got to be, as we're lifting weights in the gym, we got to be studying the word. I'm like, no, it's not about that. It's something you can't do. It's something that grace brings you into. Grace will bring you into the knowledge of truth. And he will establish you. He will be the builder in you. You have to have a foundation. And you can't build that foundation. I think that's the weakness of man. And instead, you have what is really glorified are the things that we can reach for. And then if you can't reach for it, that's on you. Because look, so-and-so is up at 4 a.m. putting on the eyeliner and cutting the hair off and shit. And they're out there getting it. So there's no excuse for you to not get it. But what they're going to be able to get is what they can reach for. And they will not be able to instill in them a firm foundation. Because their foundation will be in themselves, in their top-heavy situation, with no leg day. It's going to look very off, right? Maybe it looks off in the spirit or something. I'm not really sure. Because here on earth, it seems to look beautiful. Because you can work on your legs, but it's the motivation, it's the heart posture, it's this knowing, it's this fear of the Lord that is the beginning of wisdom, which is he must do it. The builders will labor in vain. But when God builds it, it's not going to be torn down. When God does it, it's done. When man does it, they just made a practice out of doing it. And in that way, they're just inflating their egos and skipping leg day, but getting super jacked up top, right? Looking like cartoon characters, looking like someone from the Invincibles and shit. All right? It's fine. Nobody wants to be weak. I get it. But damn, dude, you're going to, like, in order for character to really be developed, it will be in that weak place in you. The place that you cannot instill in you a foundation. Because it just seems to be so... Damn, my dog is throwing up. He does that from time to time. Okay, I think he's done now. But that's basically it, right? And what seems to be very, very popular and normalized now and super trending are the things that we can reach for. But the things that we can reach for will not be able to sustain us. And this goes into the whole church, Christian community thing. He will not build upon a crooked foundation, as your foundation has to be exposed as being crooked, right? He is the only one that can spot you on leg day. Like, you have to have that intact. So this is like, it makes a lot of sense why people skip leg day. Nobody wants to do that shit. But he will do it. Think of him being like leg day, right? Vital, necessary. But like the leg day you can't do. So you're weak in your legs. So it's just like you can be strong everywhere else. And so many people are strong everywhere else. And I see the future as being very top-heavy men or women with fat asses, right? Because it seems to be the opposite with women or whatever. They're like they're more stacked on the bottom, and they can work on the bottom part. Where am I going with this? Right? But we're all just looking like fucking caricatures and shit. Like we're just, because we're doing what we can do. And this is not going to be a popular thing because we don't want to hear the thing that we can't do. But it's in the things that we cannot do that becomes where his power is, that actually sets us free. If you can come to know that you are accepted by him in your incapability, your motivation to be strong or whatever will evaporate, or it'll be something that doesn't feel like it's something you have to push yourself to do. David Goggins won't be in your head. You'll be like, bro, we're done with that. That doesn't motivate me anymore, right? That doesn't. Other people are out there getting it, and if you don't get it, that's on you. It's just like, yeah, dude, but like what they can get for themselves is not good enough. And whenever you spend enough time with the Lord, you will find this. You will find the weakness of your makeup and how the things that he has for you are a timing thing that you cannot prepare yourself for, but you surrender to the process, that grace becomes where the power is that then establishes you in him to receive all that you were made for. It's like a long sentence or whatever. Basically, what is popular in the world are the things that men and women can reach for in their own strength. There's the thing in the airwave that's like you were lacking unless you were doing this. And so everyone is doing the whole winter arc thing. And so you need to do the winter arc thing because they're going to be jacked by January and you're not going to be jacked by January. And the only one that you're going to have to blame is yourself for that. But it doesn't really matter because the whole thing is kind of deception. Because if your motivation is to self-improve and you have not yet met him in your weakness, in the place where you're like, you have to instill in me this foundation. You have to establish me in you. I can't even pick up my Bible and establish myself in you. I cannot do this on my own. But you must do it. And it seems to be like a supernatural thing. You're just living your life, but your heart is surrendered to him. And by grace, you look back and you're like, he is doing something in the place that I can't do it. It's like he's doing it in my sleep. He's using my suffering. He's using every ingredient around me. So I don't have to go out and get all of the things, right? Have the best bulking program and the best pre-workout and have the best regimen at the gym and the best lighting and the best sound for my video cutting or whatever. Like, I mean, if you're making those videos, like how early do you have to wake up? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to normalize this. You totally set up your phone in the gym, like far away, and you put on this music. I'm not buying it. But anyway, like seriously, it's the Lord will be your leg day. And we're all trying to get away from leg day. All right? Because leg day is where we are weak. And in that weakness, we need him to instill a firm foundation in us. And without the foundation, top-heavy things fall over quickly. You will not be sustained if you were top-heavy. But the world doesn't want to hear it. Because the world, or when I say the world, the thinking of the world, people that are in darkness, and I understand this, I really do, because how we've been deceived about our weakness. We don't want to hear that we can't do something. Right? Because we feel like we are lacking if we can't do something. But it's in what you can't do that he can do that actually brings you to a new state of being where you are free. He alone will bring you into a new state of being where you are free. So it's not putting on the things, saying the right things, whatever. It's not those things. What we can reach for will always produce inflated, top-heavy things that we become enslaved to practicing, and it works if you work it. But if you stop, oh, that winter arc went well, I'll do it again, and I'll do it again, and I'll do it again. And for what? So you can become like an Incredible or something? You're like, nah, bro, I'm not skipping leg day. That's the first thing I'm working on. It's the heart motivation. You're always going to skip leg day because you can't do leg day on your own. And that's where you were weak. And in that place, character really will be developed. And the substance of things will be evident. You will see, you will reap what you sow. If you hit the top, you're just going to get more on the top. And then if you're validated in that place, you're only going to be encouraged to keep going. And then people are looking at you and saying, wow, I want to do that. Then you're going to be more encouraged to keep grabbing it for yourself. But that ain't going to be where life is, bro. You can't skip leg day.